tough loss. I love the way the Las Vegas Raiders kept fighting though. Notice that when you put everything they do under a microscope under interim head coach Antonio Pierce. I believe the Raiders should take the interim tag off now based on what I've seen already. He's a leader of men that has a locker room without question. He also has the common sense to do some things that former head coach Josh McDaniels was too much of a genius to do, like get the ball into his stars' hands. He also let his players have input into the game plan. The biggest thing for me is Pierce has made the Raiders a physical football team again. However, he needs a little more help to beat a Super Bowl contending team like the Miami Dolphins, but he's doing well. Head coaches usually have defensive or offensive backgrounds, and they're judged heavily on how their team is on their side of the ball. Well, Pierce is a defensive guy, and his defense is carrying the offense right now. They're not carrying them very far because they're dead weight, but they're carrying the Raiders. In the 3 games Pierce has been a head coach, the defense has given up 12.6 points per game. Yeah, they've played the New York Giants and New York Jets, who are bad on offense, but what about the Dolphins? They have the #1 scoring offense in the NFL, averaging 30.5 points per game, and the Raiders held them to 20. The Raiders have the #13 scoring defense at 20.4 points per game, up from number 26 last year. Oh, and they held the #1 scoring offense to the same amount of points they hold every team to, and 10 points below their average. Speedster Tyreek Hill got them, but they still scored only 20 points. Pierce can use an interior defensive lineman in the corner, but look at what he's doing with what he has. He's a good football coach, period. Look what he's done with middle linebacker Robert Spillane in the linebacker corps. Speaking of head coaches being judged on how the team looks on their side of the ball, look at the epic failure McDaniels was. He didn't get fired just for starting the season out with a 3-5 record. You can come up from 3-5 and make the playoffs. But when you look at the Raiders, the defense improved a lot and they're still improving. But the offense went from 11 in scoring last year to number 26 now. It looked like it was getting worse every week too. Under McDaniels, the guy that's supposed to be an offensive genius, the Raiders didn't score 20 points or more in a game. Pierce is a defensive guy, so he needs help juicing the offense up, so he promoted quarterback coach Bo Hardegree to offensive coordinator. The offense looks a lot better and they have a 30-point game, but he has to show up against teams like the Dolphins. He started off pretty well against the Dolphins, then got super conservative at the end of the first half, then got super aggressive in the second half, and it led to turnovers. I haven't come to any conclusion, but Pierce may need to find another offensive coordinator. Mark Davis needs to let him do that and not make the same mistake he made with Rich Bisaccia. Pierce might have to look for a starting quarterback after this season too. Hayden O'Connell has all kinds of arm talent, but you need more than that to play quarterback in the NFL. You have to process information quickly, which he does, and consistently be accurate down the field, which he is not. You at least have to hit that receiver when he's open deep at crucial times. Can he get better at those things with time? Yes, he can, especially after working with the receivers all off season. Third-string quarterbacks don't get reps in practice, and McDaniels is the one that foolishly made him third string. There are also the limitations that'll make it pretty hard for him to ever be that guy. He doesn't operate well under pressure because 1, he's not elusive at all, 2, he's slow as molasses, 3, he doesn't throw very well on the run, and 4, he doesn't improvise very well. He doesn't function very well outside of the structure of the play. O'Connell needs to be protected perfectly to do well. The Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, and Los Angeles Chargers all have quarterbacks that can turn a sack into a big play, and the Raiders need to keep up. Listen, there really isn't anything to be angry or disappointed about. If the Raiders were 8-3 right now, one of those losses would be to the Dolphins. You know why? Because the Dolphins are better than the Raiders, and the matchups favor them. The result could have been worse than the 20-13 loss the Raiders took. It just goes to show you Pierce is doing something right. He just needs a little help. The defense is playing well, but an interior defensive lineman or a corner would really do them some good. And over the next few games, we'll see if he needs a new offensive coordinator and quarterback. Either way, he should get the chance to make that call. Thank you for watching. See you next time.